This week on Two Noobs, newly unsealed court documents reveal Meta subscribes to the F them kids philosophy. Next, Sports Illustrated dragging sports reporting through even deeper mud using, surprise, surprise, AI. Then, are DC's cherry trees in danger? The culprit may not be who you think. Finally, we revisit the discussion on self-checkout as the debate rages on. Don't take away John's ability to avoid people. Start the music. It is episode 100, Pizza Planet 66.
Pizza Planet.
Pizza Planet. Can we go to Pizza Planet?
There you go.
Toy Story reference for all you uninitiated. Yes, where were we? Oh, Two Noobs Talking. Yes, episode 166 of however many episodes we end up finally doing when all is said and done, which is hopefully a long, long way away.
Mm-hmm.
Until I smother Matt with lemons.
There you go.
But anyway, let me introduce. Let me introduce the players here. Over here, we're in the holiday spirit. This is Jolly John Tracy.
Oh, there you go.
Fresh off a macho documentary, so I've got some references that.
Yeah. We're not gonna let that happen. Yeah. Over here, we got magical Matt Craig. In the middle, I am shopper Steve Murray. I haven't done any shopping actually yet. So.
Neither have I. Yeah, neither have I.
Well,
yeah.
You don't start with an S, so it's not expected.
That's true.
Gentlemen,
yes.
As we are sitting here recording, we are eagerly anticipating the Eagles 49er matchup this weekend. So by the time you see this, it'll already have happened. So either we'll be joyous or depressed.
I still won't like them even if we beat them. I just do not like them. I don't like their colors. I don't like their attitude. I don't like their coach.
Well, back in the day, they were great. I mean, back in the day.
Yeah, but it's not back in the day now. Now they just cry on social media every time we beat them up.
Yeah, it really is amazing.
Yeah. Take your ass whooping. We're better than you. Just take it.
Well, so while we're anticipating that, we come off a great game against the Buffalo Bills. Exciting game, one that had me frustrated at times and excited at others. But according to Pro Football Focus and their noise-canceled score, we lost that game. So I don't know if you guys have heard of the noise-canceled score.
No.
This is something apparently Pro Football Focus came up with to, really get at the I don't even know what you call it.
The meat and potatoes.
The meat and potatoes of the game. Yeah. Because they ignore silly noise, random flukiness, things like turnovers or special teams plays. Plays that are huge and kind of important in determining a game. Well, we throw all that out the window because that's all fluky.
So you only take half the game. So you only take half the game.
Right, okay. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's kind of but aside from everything else, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln, kind of thing.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't one of the key stats in football like the turnover battle, and 80% of the time the team that wins the turnover battle wins the game?
I'll do you a little bit better. Isn't the whole point of the game all the plays that they play? They list them on NFL.com when they play them. So if there's 67 plays, they actually list them one after another, and you can.
I would think. Well, no, Johnny. I think the most important thing about a football game is you have to score more points than the other team.
Yeah.
No matter how.
No matter how. And I think if you hold the other team from scoring more points than you do, you have a good chance of winning. I think that's the case. Yeah.
Well, I guess they were just shocked that our kicker can kick.
In the rain. 59-yarder, by the way.
59-yarder in the rain. That was something else.
Yeah.
Because he's good at that.
Yeah.
He is very good.
He looked very confident.
Yeah. He was just like, all right, how do I hit this as hard as I can and through the goalposts? Whack.
We We've been
Not a
so
problem.
blessed. We've been so blessed in Philadelphia.
We have.
Yeah.
I've trusted David Akers for a long time.
Yeah.
I think I trust Jake Elliott even more.
This is a whole nother level.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother
Yeah.
level.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
for
didn't
sure.
even blink. I was watching and I didn't even blink. There was no celebration or anything. I just sat like this in this chair, like watching it on this screen, and it went up, and I went.
Good.
There you go.
There was no emotion to it. If he would have missed it, I think I would have lost my mind. But that was never in my head.
But the funniest part of the whole thing was the overtime coin toss and the Bills saying, we want the ball. And Brandon Graham goes, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
BG's the greatest. That's why.
I love BG. Oh, God, love that guy.
Oh, but I digress. We're off the rails already, and we're only, 5 minutes into the
5 minutes in. Yeah.
It's because we're recording at night, and that's what happens.
It's delirium, folks. Delirium. I don't know what we put in the water here or whatever y'all are drinking.
There you go.
But why don't we step right into the W Energy Drink sponsored segment of the show? That's the over 40 rant. Yeah, I was about to say the over fun fact. See, delirium again.
Yeah. It's
the over 40 rant and the fun fact. And that's W Energy Drinks. Visit w.gg. That's DUBBY.gg. Enter the promo code 2 Noobs talking, one word, TOONOO, bzz, talking, like Buzz the Bee.
There you go.
Get 10% off whatever the hell you want to order. John is going to bring it to you with a smile on his face.
Unless you're a Cowboys fan.
Fair enough. In which case, he will leave it on the doorstep with a bag of flaming dog shit.
Now imagine what I do to 49er fans.
Ooh. No, I think Cowboy fans are still worse.
Yeah.
But in any event, I believe we've determined just before we started that the fun fact falls on me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I will go ahead with that. And this came up because I spent the afternoon watching the new Godzilla film out of Japan, which they thankfully released in American theaters, called Godzilla -1. I told the guys beforehand, I am not an idiot. I realize Godzilla is not, top level art film, if you will. I just loved seeing Godzilla and apes fight. It's just fun. I had a good time. It's enjoyable. Yeah. This film was actually really well done, and it is a cinematic, I would say, masterpiece.
Wow.
It was impressive.
It was
impressive, aside from just the Godzilla part, which was also impressive, and one of the scarier versions of the monster. But what came up out of that was, apparently I knew this and the other two didn't. So the Godzilla franchise is recognized by the Guinness World Records as the longest continuously running film franchise. I will not credit certain films in the running, but there are 30, what did I say, 4?
30.
I think it was 34.
33.
Going on 34.
33, so Godzilla -1 is the 33rd. Godzilla X Kong coming out in April will be the 34th. So Godzilla has been in 33, soon to be 34 films, topping any other fictional character, including, for example, James Bond, who I think we calculated was only in 25.
25. Yeah. That's amazing. That's an amazing cinematic history right there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I never even thought
1954.
That yeah. I knew it was around as long as it was. I didn't realize there were so many movies made.
Yeah.
Me seeing only probably 3 or 4 Godzilla movies in my life. I kind of figured they were it. They were it. Okay, so they did their 40s. Okay, cool. Whatever, moving on.
Yeah, before the advent of DVDs, a lot of them were very hard to see in the United States. Because most of them, especially the ones kind of in the 90s that they made, which are some of my favorite ones, they were not released in the U.S. until the DVDs came about and things could be shared that way. It was very hard to find stuff.
But still, those old Godzilla movies, Steve, right? With the model making and the thing walking.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's classic Hollywood right there. That's just absolutely beautifully made. And it was in a way, it was not necessarily corny, but it was you could tell. It was okay, this is kind of just run of the mill. that kind of deal, model making. But at the end of the day, like, you believed it. Like, you showed that on a big screen. You're like, holy cow, look at that big old lizard destroying Tokyo. That's awesome. It's great.
Well, you know what's funny is in the first run of films, they started 54 with incredible models of Tokyo. Very, very detailed. Very, lots of effort put into it.
Yeah.
And then it kind of became a thing where they were just churning out one after another. You start to realize Godzilla keeps fighting his battles. It's no longer in like Tokyo. Now he's fighting on an island.
Wow.
And I think it's just because they just got lazy and didn't feel like making the model buildings anymore. So it's like, all right, just make a couple trees and it'll be fine.
He moved over there. He moved over there. He didn't want to fight he found that it was a detriment to his feet, the city.
There you
so
go.
He moved over to some sand.
That's hilarious.
Oh, I stepped on a fire hydrant. What the fuck? Wow. It's like a Lego.
I was just going to say.
It would hurt.
Right.
That's got to hurt him, I would think.
It's like, I'm going to the beach.
Stepping on, I mean,
F
come
these
on.
kids.
Yeah.
Well, we're not segueing there yet, John. But we will segue into the over 40 rant. So what do you have for us? You texted us shortly after the Eagles game that you had the over 40. So I sense that it's Eagles related somehow.
Yes.
Oh,
This is not against the fan who did it or the parents of the fan who did it. It's against the Philadelphia media that they ran at nauseum the young Eagles fan that is probably about my stepson's age, maybe a little younger, that ran up to the Buffalo fan and flipped them the bird. Now, it was I don't mind the exchange. The kid did it. The Buffalo fan laughed. They had a little moment. That's fine. That's fandom. I've seen that. I'm not going after the kid at all. The fact that the Philly sports media want to put this kid like on a pedestal, like this is what it's all about. This is what we believe in. Like, you all look like absolute fools.
Yeah.
You just look like fools. And they kept playing it over and over again. And I was just sitting there like, I really wish they would get their head out of their ass, Philadelphia sports media, because they do not get it. They are in the prime of Philly sports right now. All the teams are good or getting good, and they're still running rhetoric from the 90s Angelo Cataldi style. And you look like a bunch of assholes because you're not on the pulse of anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the first I've heard of it. I don't know if I would even excuse that if I was a dad and had a 10-year-old and did that.
Would have never happened, but I could say, you get a little caught up in it. It's fine. It happens.
Sure, it happens. Yeah, I get it.
I'm not. Yeah. I'm not playing. I don't want to go into the morals of that, but
yeah,
I want to go in the morals of the Philadelphia sports media.
That's propping it up.
They wanted to bleed that thing for all it was worth. It was.
Yeah. It was so ridiculous. Yeah, it's so over the top. Yeah, it didn't need to be.
Yeah, the Philly sports media spends a lot of time, and rightfully so, ranting about our reputation. Oh, snowballs at Santa, blah blah blah. Drop it. That was 1950s at a shaggy ass piss poor Santa.
Yeah.
In Franklin Field, which was two stadiums ago, by the way.
In Franklin Field, the most uncomfortable seats on the planet.
So they spend all this time railing against that reputation, and here they go just burgeoning it up. I mean, the kid did it. Okay, fine, it's good for a laugh, blah blah blah. But we don't need our own media now being, this is what it's all about. No, it's not what it's really all about.
Yeah, exactly. No.
You don't speak for the average Philly fan when you say that. Yeah, is it funny? Yeah, okay, it's a little funny.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have had my kids do it. I'm with Matt on that. But I'm not gonna.
Me neither. Absolutely not. Yeah. But I'm not hanging the person.
Who said it? Yeah, who said it, guys, in the media? Because I wasn't aware.
It was most of the podcasts that were talking about it the day after. Like, it was all they were all just in on it. It was the group of them. All the normal. I don't even know half their names at this point because I don't listen to them.
Yeah.
Like, because they don't bring me anything.
Yeah. Anything special. Yeah.
So
Okay.
in the words of Joey Swole, Philadelphia media, do better.
Exactly.
There you go. There you go.
All right. Well,
get us out of that.
Yeah. Topic one. Right. So we're getting into topic one. Getting out of that and into topic one. Speaking of need to do better. Oof,
oh Lord.
boy.
Yeah.
I believe we talked about this previously.
Mm-hmm.
Meta was sued. I don't even remember when, by attorneys general in a number of states.
I think it was about a month ago we talked about it. Yeah.
No, it's more than that. I think it's got to be more than that.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly, but
Yeah.
so Meta was sued in a number of states by attorneys general, mainly on the issue of there were reports of children under the age of 13, which I think is not right under lots of states' laws.
Yeah.
Having Facebook or Instagram, I think mainly Instagram accounts, which shouldn't be, and that they were collecting data from those accounts, which under 13 without parents' permission is not right.
Huge. Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, it has come to light that in that suit, the court has unsealed a document which has some pretty interesting and slightly cringy things to say.
Dun, dun, dun. Uh-oh.
Meta, according to the suit, has violated a range of state-based consumer protection statutes, as well as the Children's Online Privacy Protection Rule, or COPPA. Maybe it was a month ago.
I think it was about a month ago. Yeah, now that we think about
COPPA,
it. Yeah.
So that's the law that prohibits companies from collecting this personal information from kids under 13. And Meta violated this with respect to Facebook and Meta.
No.
Even though Meta's own records reveal that Instagram's audience composition includes millions of children under the age of 13, and that hundreds of thousands of teen users spend more than 5 hours a day on Instagram. This is straight out of the court document.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Here's a quote from a Meta product designer. Not creepy at all or anything.
No.
In an internal email, wrote, quote, "Young ones are the best ones. You want to bring people to your service young and early."
Oh my. That's yikes. Yeah, that's a yikes meter times what? Infinity.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
And Instagram's terms of use prohibit users under the age of 13 or higher in certain countries. And we have measures in place to remove these accounts when we identify them. However, verifying the age of people online is a complex industry challenge, Meta told CNN last Sunday.
Bless you, John.
Excuse me. Allergies.
John, would you care to expound on your allergies, John?
That is. I'm so tired of that. It's so challenging to put an age verification. Google does it great. Google does it absolutely great for an email address. You cannot get an email address unless you link it to a parent's email address under the age of 12. And it is a very simple form that the child fills out and then hits a button after they put their parent's email address in, and then it goes to their parents, and their parents go to their email, and then everything. Even tablets do that now. You have control of your children's phones, Steve. There's a way to do these, and it's very simple. It's not hard.
Yeah.
I don't understand why every time they do something wrong, they go, well, it's really complex to do this. No, it's not. You're just full of shit. Like, you're just
It's so hard. It's so hard.
It's so hard, yeah. To steal all the data or to like what is hard?
Yeah, I mean, my God, so many data. I mean, the data privacy is really the big thing here, gents. I mean, as you guys know, I work in a technology company, and we're huge on that. It has to be, and for students' rights, and kids' rights. You cannot, under any circumstances, sell any sort of information about a kid. You just cannot do it because they are why? Because they are the most vulnerable. They don't have a credit history, so there you could screw with their credit history, and that affects them in the future. There's all kinds of stuff that can be done, if it's not in check. So, I mean, I am so glad that this is coming out. Unfortunately, when things like this come to light, sometimes, it's painful to look at, but my God, I really hope this is the beginning of the end for this company. I really do. I'm so sick and tired of having to deal and read these articles, Jens. I don't know about you, about Facebook and Meta and all the, we have all these, problems and I'm thinking like, you're a horrible company. You've been a horrible company for the last 10 years. You can't control your own platform. So what makes you think that I'm going to allow my son or daughter to go onto Instagram? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah. So I
mean, that quote from the email.
No, yeah,
like it's a drug dealer.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly
that's exactly what you want to hear from a drug dealer.
Yeah,
get them young and early, get them hooked.
Yeah,
I mean, seriously.
And then you can't get them away from this platform. They're completely full of shit. We can't.
Stupid.
We can't stop this. It's I can't figure out how to not steal data from a child. Like, you're just. What are you doing to the adults?
You're a crap human being.
If they are uncovering this stuff, what are you doing to, non-paying attention adults that don't read privacy things and, have their credit cards hooked to Facebook or Instagram? What are you doing to those people too? That's what this brings up to me. What exactly are you doing as a company?
Yeah.
Well, and it doesn't just go to stealing the kids' data either. Going further, this is a CNN article, by the way, bringing a lot of this out. According to internal company communications cited in the court document, employees wrote they were concerned about, quote, content on IG triggering negative emotions among tweens and impacting their mental well-being, and our ranking algorithms taking them into negative spirals and feedback loops that are hard to exit from. Internal emails from February 2021, Meta employees allegedly recognized social comparison was associated with greater time spent on Meta's social media platforms and discussed how this phenomenon is valuable. This is, quote, valuable to Instagram's business model while simultaneously causing harm to teen girls.
Yeah.
One employee noted in internal communications, negative appearance comparisons is some of the most engaging content on the Explore page. So this idea actively goes against many other teams' top line measures.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Meta's external communications denied or obscured the fact that its recommendation algorithms promote high negative appearance comparison content to young users.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys do on Facebook or Instagram. I'm looking for a laugh. If I'm not seeing messages or, posts from my friends, I'm looking for, hey, there was a big cat at a zoo. That's cool.
Yeah.
Or funny videos, people falling on their ass, stuff like that. I'm not looking for negative appearance comparisons.
Yeah. No. Oh my gosh. Well, even to train that algorithm too, it sounds like that they were going to.
Yeah.
They're just a shitty company. I'll just come out and say they're just a shitty company. Like, what are they doing? What are?
Yeah. They're doing that. This is my cry for. They need to be federally regulated. Big time. Like, if there's one company out of all the social media companies that should be sitting on Capitol Hill all the time and getting
it's Meta
and getting smacked around, it's absolutely Meta.
They
need to. We need to as a society, voters need to get together and start, like, after this administration. Let's hope there's normal people after this administration. When that happens,
I'm not holding hope for that.
I'm not either. But let's just say there are, on the flip side, there's normal people. We may want to, as a society, come together and start plugging these holes, because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah,
your algorithm. Well, I think it also says something poor about our society, where we're spending the most time on posts dealing with negative appearance comparison.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a frightening thing.
But they're also saying it's so hard to get out of that loop that you almost can't. And I've seen it on TikTok, and I've seen it on... The rabbit holes are quicker now than they've ever been on social media. If you just watch a full video, that algorithm now pops 12 of those like-kind videos in your feed, and if you're not paying attention, I caught myself today. I was double watching a video because I was doing something else, and I was like, "What the was that?" Like, I don't want that. Like, that's nothing that I was. But I watched a video similar to that, so that's. I think they've trained their systems. They took what getting everybody together and having fun, Meta, Facebook, did, like, you can, get in touch with your aunt or your best friend that you haven't seen in a while, or somebody you haven't seen in a while. They took that and they created this garbage out of it.
Yeah,
and now they're running with it, and it's faster, quicker. It learns quicker. It can trap these kids in, obviously, total negativity. That's why they're getting sued, because it's just total negativity. And a child does not need negativity; they need positivity.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to learn good from evil, right? I mean, at the end of the day, and that's really what it's all about. And stuff like this, you could just see it. You could just see it's a contributing factor. Yeah, to the mental, I was going to say declination. I don't even know that's a word. Decline. The mental decline.
It is a word.
Oh, there you go. Oh, thank you. I hope I know what I'm saying, but yeah.
Hold on, let me get a gold star for you.
But you could just see it. It's just adding to that mental decline in the entire, in the culture, and especially in the youth. And if there's anybody that you need to keep, going and driving forward and changing the future of not only the country but the world, we need the young to kind of learn. Okay, yeah, there's this crap out here, but listen, here's what you can do. You could go out there and you could do X, Y, and Z that flourishes you, that makes you better. And not only makes you better, but society better as well. So a combination of all those things will help. But yeah, I just want to see it gone. I just want to see Instagram gone, Facebook gone. No offense, but I just want to see it gone, guys. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of all of the BS that they come up with and their ridiculous excuses. I can't say it anymore.
Can we just have a platform that all they do is give you posts from your friends?
Yeah. I would enjoy that. I like my friends.
Well, if you, as John dances,
yes.
if you ignore silly, random, noisy things like age, Meta's actually got a pretty good noise canceled score, I'd say.
Yeah.
And I have to disagree with Matt on one thing.
Oh.
I don't believe children are the most vulnerable in society, because as I've come to learn as a parent, children are actually pretty crafty with their gadgets.
Yes.
Really?
I think it's the senior citizens who are the most vulnerable, because they don't know what the hell to do with their phones and devices.
Yes.
Seems to be the case. Yes, that is very
scariest.
True.
Which we're falling into soon.
Whoa. Speak for yourself, old man.
Oh, yeah, you're young, but...
Somebody just had a birthday.
Yeah, exactly.
My back's a year older.
Yes, I don't know. There you go.
All right, topic 2, and this is, I guess, not surprising.
No,
to any of us.
No.
When's the last time you read this publication?
Sports Illustrated.
Yes.
Oh gosh, I would say probably 15 years ago. Maybe.
I would tend to agree with that. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
I probably agree. 20 years ago, maybe plus.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure that my fantasy report is not. Okay, no, I'm good. Okay,
you're good. You're
sure.
good. Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes I just walk into the store and I just grab.
There you go.
And the only reason I grabbed this one,
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts was on the cover, and I'm in Texas, and I was like, "Oh, win!"
Which one is that?
It's Lindy Sports.
Oh, Lindy Sports. Okay.
Yeah.
I've had sporting news versions.
Oh, there you go.
This is my typical go-to fantasy football.
Move that over.
That is a good one.
Yeah,
if you're a big fantasy guy and you don't use that book, you should use that book. That's a good one. I use their website.
Fantasy Football Index, absolutely.
Fantasy Football Index, good stuff. Sports Illustrated, on the other hand, not so much.
No. Do not use any
they
talk about.
They have quite fallen from grace.
I'd say.
I guess Matt, who came? No, it was me. Wait.
Yeah, it was you.
Somebody. It was me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Came across this futurism article.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Sports Illustrated has been posting articles by fake AI-generated writers. So here's a bio for one Drew Ortiz that previously appeared on the Sports Illustrated website. Drew has spent much of his life outdoors and is excited to guide you through his never-ending list of the best products to keep you from falling to the perils of nature. Nowadays, there is rarely a weekend that goes by where Drew isn't out camping, hiking, or just back on his parents' farm.
That just sounds so phony and made up.
There's a big problem,
doesn't it,
with this?
And why is it in the third person? Like, I don't quite understand that. Like,
that's not unusual for a bio.
I guess.
Yeah,
but
that's a standard bio. I mean, it seems very fake because nobody is that.
It just
on point.
Exactly. Yeah.
Except for Drew's alcoholism and his hatred of squirrels. Like, that should be in there somewhere.
The reason he's out camping every weekend is to get away from his miserable home life.
Exactly.
But
abusive wife, dog, parents, whatever.
But here's a problem. His profile photo is for sale on a website that sells AI-generated headshots, where he's described as neutral white young adult male with short brown hair and blue eyes.
See, we were on to something.
Oh boy.
And Drew Ortiz's articles were a little, shall we say, strange. Mm-hmm. Here's a quote from one of them. Volleyball can be a little tricky to get into, especially without an actual ball to practice with.
I have figured out the Jalen Hurts hate. It's all AI bots.
It's all AI bots. There you go, Johnny.
It has to be.
Right on. Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah.
At least one person involved in the creation of Sports Illustrated content has said, as I get a visitor.
Yeah.
The content written by Drew Ortiz is absolutely AI generated, no matter how much they say it's not.
Wow.
Journalistic integrity just out the window, eh, gents?
I guess so.
I mean,
but why are we surprised at this either? Really?
I don't think we are, but
no. Yeah.
No,
we're not.
We all are journalism fans.
We are?
Well, we can't. Yeah,
look who you're talking to over here.
But what I'm saying, we enjoy the good people that do sports journalism. We have a high respect for the elder age of. Yes, that's what I'm talking. Like we grew up with good. I'm not surprised Sports Illustrated did this at all.
Yeah.
But it's spitting in the face of people like Pat Summerall, John Madden, Ray Didinger, Dick Emmerich. I can't even a billion.
Doc Emmerich. Yeah.
Like everybody, everybody we grew up with, like watching college football or football, or it just spits in the face of actual journalism.
You could even say Stan Hochman from way back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, he was decent.
Love Stan Hochman. Love him.
Yeah, there you go.
He was awesome.
But I mean, I think you're right on to something there, Johnny. Really, I think this is a pathetic attempt by a once proud magazine, I guess you could say, back in the day.
Or
Sports
Never
magazine.
Proud.
I guess not. No.
I would say Sports Illustrated was at one point kind of the go-to, sporting.
Yeah, in the
absolutely
80s.
was. In the 80s,
location.
absolutely in the 80s, but
Yeah, in the 80s.
I mean, they've
early
had
90s.
iconic cover photos. The Twins winning
Yep.
the World Series against the Braves in that thrilling Game 7, 1-0.
Yeah.
There was an iconic cover there.
Yeah.
They had their moments, but you're right, it has fallen far.
So far. Yeah, and the fact that they're just now, I mean, with AI, and it was really funny. It's like we were even looking at that article. There was like one for an Asian woman, and it was like,
Oh, all right. So here I'll bring that here.
Yeah.
So this is another issue. Not only are they publishing this AI stuff, they are trying like hell to cover it up. So the Drew Ortiz gentleman who I read about earlier in this topic, he disappeared at one point from the website. And
he got lost in the woods, apparently.
He got lost in the woods, and his profile page was redirected to that of a Sora Tanaka. No record of her being a writer or being on staff by that name.
Oh, gosh.
But her profile picture was also for sale on the same AI headshot marketplace, where she's listed as, quote, joyful Asian young adult female with long brown hair and brown eyes. Sora has always been a fitness guru and loves to try different foods and drinks. Miss Tanaka is thrilled to bring her fitness and nutritional expertise to the product reviews team and promises to bring you nothing but the best of the best. And apparently she also disappeared, replaced by another profile that carried a headshot, which SI deleted after Futurism, the writer of this article, reached out to them to say, what the hell?
Oh man, they wiped their drive after a journalist actually called them on journalism. Shocking.
What a shock.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. Oh my gosh.
I mean, Matt, it's the lies at this point, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not
it
just
really
the fact
is.
that we're cheating and running this AI crap. Now we're lying about it.
Whatever happened to just deleting the original profile and just saying, you know what? All right, we screwed up. That was totally our fault. Whatever happened to that integrity? I guess that's out the window because we're going to just replace it with somebody else who doesn't even exist. I mean, that's just, but it's not surprising.
No.
But with this magazine, unfortunately, and my fear though, guys, is that as we advance in years,
Speak for yourself.
That's a really nice. That's a really nice way to say we're getting old.
Yeah, exactly.
Second number 40 rant brought to you by.
Yeah, exactly. My worry is like credible sources, right? I mean, at the end of the day, with all of this, and if we have like AI bots that are trying to write articles that and you go and you try and find more information about this person, they don't exist. I mean, that throws everything into credibility. I'm sorry. It just throws your entire brand out. I mean, I don't understand like what's going on with these brands. Like,
I don't think they
Sports
can.
Illustrated.
I do not think they can survive this because why would you read? Why would you read it after reading this article? Why would you ever see a post online or in the store? You see Sports Illustrated, you have to turn away. Because they're not they're not telling you anything. They're completely lying to you.
Would they have been in a better place had they just come right out and said, "Hey, here's an AI generated article for your reading"?
Absolutely.
I mean,
because because the AI generated is using the web, so it's gonna use facts, we assume. It's gonna use some non-facts, we also assume. But it's going to use what the internet already has, so it's not already the internet's already lying to you. So if you told us it was lying, we would already know.
That's not true. That's not true. Everything that on the internet is true. Come on now.
That is not true.
So they've compounded the fact that they're doing AI generated articles, which is a complete cop out and lazy writing, by doubling down and creating fake personas of guys who go out camping to avoid their horrible home life.
Yes. I'd feel better if they would have lied to us, telling us they were lying to us, than them just lying to us and replacing that lie with another lie, and then that with another lie. And they weren't even talking about, but volleyball without a ball is really hard. Got it. Okay. That's not sports to me. I mean, that's pretty much. I get a 10-year-old that can write that. Like, he doesn't need a journalism degree. I'm pretty sure he understands soccer's hard without a ball.
Yeah. Football is good.
These are the people trying to stop the tush push. This is what I'm saying.
Right, exactly.
There you go. Yeah.
Roger Goodell's not only a racist, but he's an AI bot.
Yes. He's definitely a racist.
Yeah. So Sports Illustrated is apparently owned by a group called the Arena Group.
Huh.
And they are not just having these AI-generated snafus with Sports Illustrated. They have another financial publication called The Street, one word, that had previously been co-founded by Jim Cramer, that they bought in 2019. Mm-hmm. Authors were found there with highly specific biographies, but with profile photos traceable to the same AI face website.
Wow.
And the fake writers are also periodically, the fake writers there were also periodically wiped from existence, and articles reattributed to new names. And this is not just an Arena Group thing. Apparently, Futurism has caught CNET and Bankrate, both owned by the company Red Ventures, publishing barely disclosed AI content that was filled with factual mistakes and even plagiarism. CNET issued corrections to more than half of its AI-generated articles.
Oh, man.
Embarrassing bungles at Gizmodo, the AV Club. They caught BuzzFeed publishing AI-generated travel guides, USA Today, and other Gannett newspapers busted publishing hilariously garbled AI-generated sports roundups.
Wild.
The laziness is off the charts, gentlemen.
So please check out our website for our editorial on this article. By Steve
WordPress.com. We'll just throw it up there right now on screen.
Yeah, Too Noobs Talking.wordpress.com. I will have an AI generated article up there next week for you.
With a middle finger telling you that we're
right.
that we're lying.
Right. I'm gonna ask the lawyers who at ChatGPT do their legal research for some advice on how to be an idiot.
Somehow I'm gonna go to prison with this. I have no idea what's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen.
You know, when you discount random noise like the truth, SI's got a pretty good noise canceled score going on.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
I would say. Yeah,
they're winning. They're up there.
I'm going to find one. I'm going to find a Sports Illustrated somewhere. It's got to be around there somewhere in Barnes and Noble or something like that. Maybe
you still have a Barnes and Noble? Holy crap!
Just remember, take your allergy medicine, because the dust that's going to be on that thing.
I know. And I'm already trying to come out of like a cough right now, Johnny. That's the thing. It's like, I'm not quite so sure.
I think we need to have an AI generated guest on our next.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
And they can spew their nonsense like volleyball without a ball is hard. I would actually think it would be easy because, it's...
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you guys ever played volleyball. Volleyball is hard to control where the hell that ball goes.
Very hard.
You know, the one thing I think I remember, we talked about this. I'm trying to remember it. If there was something where we were going to test a bot online, in one of these recordings. It might have been Facebook's AI chatbot or something.
It was one of the
that,
racist chatbots.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was totally one of the racist chatbots.
Oh, they probably corrected that code. Damn it. You never know.
I wouldn't automatically assume they fixed things.
Yes, I would definitely.
That's true.
They're really not good at what they do.
No, not at all. Check us out on Facebook, by the way.
Yeah.
And Instagram.
Yes. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have Instagram, so I don't know. All right.
Yep. We're big on Instagram. People like us there.
There you go. There you go.
We won't be posting any trashing Instagram topics.
Oh, I will. Oh, absolutely, I will.
Oh, sweet. Very good. And by the way, the website is twonoobstalking.wordpress.com. Go there, visit. You can find all our links to all our old episodes through YouTube. You can also find links to many of the podcasting sites that you can find us on. And if you can't, there's an RSS feed. You can plug that there into
anywhere you anywhere you get your podcast, we will appear.
There you go.
We are omnipotent or omnipresent.
Omnipresent.
Omnipresent, thank you.
There you go.
Well, I'm omnipotent, but we are omnipresent.
Yes, I'm glad we figured that out.
I see all.
I see.
I see.
All. Yes.
Spell I cup.
I cup. Anyway.
Topic three.
So now that we got
file.
these beavers going,
that's a spoiler alert, dude. What the hell? You ruined the whole thing.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh well.
Weird file.
Topic 3. Ruined. All right.
Topic 3.
Moving on to
Washington,
topic 4.
DC. DC News. I don't even know what DC News is. Where the hell did you find these things, man?
I found
Is
it on
DC
Not to Be, which linked to that link, and I was just like, you know what, this is kind of a funny story, and I
If
felt it
Sports
was kind of weird
Illustrated
too.
owns
So
this, I'm out.
Yeah, did you check the source on this
I
before you
did
sent
not
this
check
over?
the source. No.
All right. Well, according to the National Park Service, or NIPS, NAPS? We'll go
NIPS.
NAPS. Yeah, NAPS.
Yeah.
No, NAPS.
Yeah.
Oh, NAPS. Okay.
We'll go NAPS. NAPS.
Oh, there you go. Naps. Yeah.
They have said that 15 to 20 cherry trees in the Tidal Basin in Washington, D.C. exhibit evidence that Winona's big brown beaver has been by and chewing on them.
Uh-oh.
They're tasty.
According to the NAPS chief of communication, it's far from rare or unheard of and is generally at least an annual occurrence. He said that a beaver gnawed down a willow in April 2022, and another beaver had to go at a cherry tree.
Awesome.
Oh my.
Is this a British AI bot?
had to go with a cherry tree, eh? Wait, nudge. Say no more. Know what I mean?
Oh, crikey.
But apparently he had it, so he had to go with the cherry tree, but didn't fell it. So, beavers are native mammals to this area. I had no flipping clue there were beavers in Washington, D.C.
No idea. Unless I was thinking probably perhaps of the Potomac River, and maybe they're hanging out there. But I mean, if you're crossing the Potomac River on beavers, trying to build a dam, I mean, that's going to take you quite a long time there, pal.
There is no word association that you could say DC and I would ever answer beaver. So that's like, there were so many other things that you would go for. Like,
yeah,
really,
cherry tree would be on there, but beaver eating cherry tree, I didn't even know this was a thing.
Not even
cherry tree. Yeah. I told you guys in pre-production I had a cherry tree at my last house.
Yes.
Growing right next to my pool and deck. It was beautiful for about a week and a half every year.
6 minutes.
Yeah.
6 minutes, and it dropped all its beautiful petals and was just an ugly green tree for the rest of the year.
Ugh.
Also dropped its cherries all over my pool deck, which was not fun.
Oh, that's
but I mean, I'm with you guys. You say beaver, right? I picture like northwest of the country.
Totally,
I picture logging. I'm picturing big, huge ass trees
around somewhere. Yeah, exactly.
Forests.
Yeah.
I am not picturing Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
I can't think of many green spaces around Washington, D.C. where a beaver would make its home.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going on here?
It's hilarious. I love it because it's... Yeah, I think the cherry trees were given to us by the Japanese way back before the war. 1917 as an offer of peace and goodwill back then, before they lost their minds in the Second World War. We had to turn around straight. But yeah, it was an act of peace and goodwill, and they've been beautiful. I mean, I will never set foot in Washington D.C. I've made that vow my lifetime.
I understand. I've been
because it's
I've been in it. It is beautiful. It is a. They're not lying when they say it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is very cool in the 6 minutes that they bloom, and it's over.
Yeah.
So you
time that shit right.
Yeah, you got to
You
get
really
down there.
do.
Got to get down there early. Tailgate.
Yeah.
Just don't flip off. Just don't flip off a cherry tree. It's not.
But Johnny, I'm just scared of Washington because I feel like
Me
if I
too.
go into the Potomac and I go into the Beltway, I'm never getting out. And that's what I want. I want that Beltway to always exist so I could drive around that ridiculous dumbass city so I can go on my way south to Baltimore, that kind of deal.
I have a small place in my heart for Nationals Park.
There you go.
It's similar to Citizens Bank, but it's underground, so it's better in some architectural in my brain of a baseball stadium. I love going there. The rest of it, I mean, it's got some cool museums and stuff. I've spent a lot of time in DC. My older brother living a mile outside of DC for a while. I got to spend a lot of time in DC, and I like it as a town as long as you stay away from the normal, tourism-y, garbage, politician crap area over there.
And the
there is a cooler
riot.
area over here that is much better for the normal people. They
have a nice
things.
zoo.
Yes, they do.
They have a nice zoo.
Yeah, 2019. I took the family down.
Very good.
For a trip. We visited the zoo. We visited some of those Smithsonian museums.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go.
Very
Air and
cool.
Space, and there was a couple other ones we visited.
Air and Space is really cool.
Yeah,
definitely. So they have some cool museums. I'm admitted to practice before the Supreme Court, so I got to go there.
Very cool.
Very nice.
And I've had to go down there for work, patent office. Although the patent office is actually in Virginia.
Yeah.
Did you see the hot dog council?
Did
you see the hot dog council office? No.
No, I did not see the hot dog council.
I mean, we got to pay a visit to them and tell them how much of a stupid run organization they are.
What do you mean not ketchup on hot dogs?
Yeah, exactly. Right? Come on. What's going on there?
So there are nice parts of Washington, D.C. But,
okay, you're trying to convince me. I appreciate it, guys.
I wouldn't be in a rush to get down there.
No, definitely.
But I kind of want to see these beavers now.
Yeah.
Because I'm, like I said, I picture beavers out in Northwest territories of the country, not in Washington, D.C. Do they wear like suits and ties?
I don't know.
Are they skinny? Are they skinny because they don't eat a lot because they're on the East Coast?
Because it's too expensive in DC to buy food, so they they starve. They apparently don't have the strength to fell cherry trees because they don't fell them. So
I think we should totally do a 6-minute
podcast
with the beavers and the cherry trees and when they're in blossom. So it'll only be 6 minutes. We could totally get it done.
Could they gnaw at Congress? I mean, that'd be kind of neat. Maybe they go in there and just start chewing up things. And
I'm all for it.
There's
plenty of wood in there. You can totally. They don't need all their chairs.
Yeah, but it's old, decrepit wood. It's not.
That's true. It is
like the politicians. Like the politicians, old decrepit.
We weren't talking about the politicians to begin with.
Well, we were talking about the chairs, but yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, my mistake.
It's the same.
Chairs too. They're old and decrepit.
Yeah, it's the
same. The article concluded by this gentleman from Naps commenting that on average 90 trees die a year.
Wow.
Due to old age, disease, and other reasons. And beavers are just one of those reasons.
Well, there you go.
I'm glad we could sum that up really quickly.
Yeah.
See, AI bot. Get your statistics straight, and then we can get out of here, and it's believable.
There you go.
Next time you're down in DC, keep an eye out for them beavers. Word is, gentlemen, that these beavers have not been felling very many trees recently because they've been spending all their time in silly hearings.
Yeah.
All
right, but now if you'll permit me just to get this out of my system. Well, Noda's got herself a big brown beaver, and she shows it off to all her friends. One day, you know that beaver tried to leave her, so she came up with the Cyclone fans. Along came Lou with the old baboon, said, recognize that smell? Smells like 7 layers. That beaver eats Taco Bell. Thank you for indulging me.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for just doing that. You made my weekend.
Need a laugh.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
There you go.
There you go.
Reason for my son to check out the podcast this week.
There you go.
He's a bass player, so he's a Primus fan.
Oh, who is not a Primus fan? If you're not a Primus fan, turn us off right now.
He didn't mean that.
I do not want to associate with you if you do not understand Les Claypool's genius. Being dead serious about this.
John just cost us half our viewership.
Or I just got Primus 12 more fans.
There you go.
Hey, you never know. There you go.
Yeah. There you go. That's Wynona's Big Brown Beaver. It's a song. Check it out.
Yes.
There you go.
Saw them live. 1994 Lollapalooza.
Whoa.
Nice.
Man, what a performer. He was about middle card, about noon.
Okay.
At FDR Park, man. Whew.
Wow.
It was awesome. It was a good 45 minutes.
That's great.
Seen some things
by the way,
never seen before.
And just a memory you'll always have.
If you don't know who we're talking about, they do the theme song for South Park.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Okay. There you go.
To South Park, gonna have a
Good time.
All right. See, we're falling.
Oh, by the way, he tried out for Metallica, but was not allowed.
It was probably for the best.
It was definitely. He said he wasn't good enough. They said he was way too good.
Oh my god!
Well, if you hear him tell the story, he's like, "Hey, you guys want to jam on some Isley Brothers tunes?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Nah,
No, we're good.
Okay.
We don't even understand.
This ain't gonna work out."
You're a musician. Go away.
Oh, it's funny.
All right, we digress. Let's get to topic 4 here, gentlemen.
Let's do it.
I know I can't remember what episode it was. We talked about self-checkout previously.
It was when I was on the road. It was a while ago. It was when I was in Western Texas. I do remember. I was staying at Holiday Inn when we had that conversation.
There you go.
Was it a Holiday Inn Express? Are you qualified to talk about self-checkout?
I am not qualified for any of that. Although the Holiday Inn Express I've stayed at recently, damn. You guys have stepped your game up.
Good for them.
There you go.
Good for them. Well, it is estimated that nearly a third of all grocery transactions are completed at a self-checkout kiosk.
Wow.
But the debate is currently still raging on. Are self-checkout kiosks good or bad or a mixture or what? So this was a Yahoo 360 news article, so it presented kind of a lot of perspectives on this, and they brought up some interesting points, pros and cons of self-checkout. So I want to hit some of these with you guys, see what you feel.
Let's do it.
I know Matt, when we got into pre-production, and he denies that he said,
I deny everything. I deny everything.
Trust no one.
Trust no one.
You brought this as a point up, and that is with self-checkout counters, you get free customer labor, and that has set companies strategizing to find new ways to further cut labor costs. You are pro getting people jobs, and I take it from our discussion in pre-production, you are you are against self-checkout counters so far as they cost jobs.
Correct.
So
correct.
Explain.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. I see it particularly at Wegmans, right around the corner from my house. They would have 20 lines of registers and there would be 20 people running checkouts, and you would be a couple of lines, but then we have maybe.
Let me just stop you right there, because that's impressive of itself. Because where I shop, you have 25 lines, and 2 of them are open. So
yeah,
please continue. This is a magical store you visit.
Well, no, let me finish with that. There's 20 lines there, and back in the day prior to COVID, all 20 were filled, but then they would have like maybe 2 or 3 sections for checkout. So or self checkout, maybe 1 or 2. You wouldn't. I don't know if you would bag. I guess you would bag it yourself in that regard. But now what they've done is they have essentially 2 big terminal stations of checkout, self checkout, where you are essentially having. I think there's like maybe 8 or so registers in each. I'll just call it bay. So there are 16 individual registers that you could go set up your bag, scan your food. Is it incredibly convenient? Yes. But the problem is now those 20 lines of registers that you previously had, 10 to 12 of them are employed by people that are now running, the registers. So you have like maybe 8 or so that aren't. They're vacant. And so my thought process is, well, what's going on? Like, how come those other 8 aren't at least keeping those bays open? And it's because they don't have the people. So I am saying that you keep self-checkout, but I would want more people back running the registers in that regard. That's the way I would see it more than anything else. I don't necessarily think that it's the wave of the future. I think if it were to replace it all, I think it just would lose its charm. And so many people would be losing their jobs after that point. Somebody's got to do that, I would think. No, it's awful, but at the same time, it's at least a start to do something, from a job perspective.
That's across the country. That's what Walmart has done. There's maybe 1 checkout person for the elderly or the ones that want to stand in that line, and then everything else is 2 employees manning a station.
They're just overseeing it.
Yeah. Where I shop, my grocery store, HEB, which is the Texas, that's all we have down here in South Texas. Like we don't have another one. They've pushed everybody out. Like it's all we have, and we will bow to them. Now they are cool. They have 1 bay of 6 self checkouts for the quick items, and it's a college town. So think about it. They're using this.
You're in, you're out.
The way they do it, it's legit. So you got your 6 quick. You got 1 person manning that. They normally, when I go on Sunday mornings, about middle afternoon or middle morning, they have 6. But if you go a little later, they have 11 open. But then they just put in a 25 and under 2 bay self-checkout on the other side. That is for someone that wants to check out, so they're not holding up your quick line. They have a line where if you want to do self-checkout, if you're, only have 25 items and you want to do self-checkout, you can do self-checkout. Yeah. And then they have their normal express lane right next to that. And then 6 or 7, 8 to 11 of people that are checking and bagging for you. So that I'm cool if it just stays that way. Because if I'm just coming in to get milk and butter, like I'm gonna hit that line. But when I'm getting groceries for the week, I pull into one of the lines and get it, bagged for me and blah blah, and have to deal with the human experience, which I'm uncomfortable doing, but I deal with it, and I'm a nice person, so I get through. I don't like it, but I get through it.
They don't bite.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Usually on my trips to the grocery store, I don't do the main shopping for the week unless my wife is away or she's sick or there's some circumstance where I need to do it, which is not very often. So normally when I go to the grocery store, I'm picking up
something,
2 or 3 or 6 or 7 specific items that I know I need. So I'm not going to get in a line and go through all that. I'm going to go to self-checkout because it's just easier for me to go boop, 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 put it in a bag.
Put it in a bag, get out. Yeah.
Right? But if I'm going to go there for, as you said, the shopping for the week, yeah, I'm going to let somebody else do all that scanning.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times they don't often have a bagger, so I'll end up bagging it all.
Yes.
But I'm not going to go through self-checkout with a shopping cart full of crap. Right?
No,
I mean,
there's
that's
no
just
reason
stupid.
for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
To me, based on that experience, I think self-checkout replaces the express lane,
which I'm okay with.
Checkout, which that's I don't see self-checkout should be costing many jobs at all, because you still need somebody. One would hope you still need somebody to kind of walk the self-checkout to help people if they screw it up, which is often because people are dumb.
But the problem with these major chains is they are totally, like, Walmart just went off the rails. They don't they don't even have people at this point. Like,
yeah.
Like
it's amazing they don't even have.
Yeah, they're going to be AI run in the next 5 years. Like, they're just literally just going to have. There. Yeah, they're just going to have bots running around going, "Did you pay for that?" Like, that's what they're. that's the course they're running on right now. If you just, I go in for quick hits when I'm on the road, just quick things.
Mm-hmm.
Like rice or something. Like, I need something that I forgot when I went to the local store or whatever. I was like, oh crap, I forgot to get red beans and rice for this meal I'm making later. And I go into Walmart, and every time I go in, I regret going in because I'm like, here we go again. How the hell do I get out of here again?
Yeah.
I was in a Walmart once.
Never again. Guys, I was, before the Wegmans was built, I did my grocery shopping at Walmart.
Ugh.
And you want to talk about an awful experience every single time. It got worse and worse and worse and worse.
Now they don't have people.
Every time.
Now you can't even.
Now they don't have people. Nope.
I will say, before we move on to the next issue, I will say, in Walmart's defense, Dr. Page came to our fantasy draft this year and brought with him some Walmart cookie sandwiches.
Ooh.
Which were amazing.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Yes.
They were delicious.
Nice.
However,
they do some things right.
I've been at a Walmart once.
Yeah. They're not as terrible as people want to make them out to be, but they're also, trust me, go there.
They're pretty bad.
Yeah, don't do your grocery shopping because you're not going to get out.
No, don't do that.
It's not happening.
There's a reason for the website People of Walmart.
Yes. And that is one of the reasons I do go when I'm away, because you never know what you're going to see. You could be entertained. You could be entertained for an hour. You really could.
I will say this: the Walmart I went to was in Northeast Philadelphia.
Okay.
I went in there because I was looking for a very, very specific thing at last minute, and I checked other places and did not find it. So I was hoping maybe Walmart would have it.
Yeah.
I have been to a Lowe's in that same complex. I've been to, they used to have an H.H. Gregg in that same complex.
Oh, I remember that.
I think they have a Best Buy there now. I was in there in that same complex. I was in a pharmacy in that same complex. The type of person
it changes
in the Walmart.
It changes.
It was not the same as the people I encountered in Lowe's or H.H. Gregg or the pharmacy in the same strip mall.
Real funny story. When I was in Chattanooga, I've talked to you guys from Chattanooga, and I was just recently in Chattanooga. There's a fresh market, which is similar to the Wegmans and similar to Trader Joe's. So there's a Trader Joe's.
Those up here,
yeah, there's a fresh market. I was in both of those stores on a Saturday, and I went into the Walmart that was there. Same literal complex. Like, I didn't move 10 feet, and you're just talking a whole different level. Just a different level. It's like, you walk in and you're just like, why did I just walk in?
What did I walk into here for? Yeah. Same.
All right. So the next issue in the debate on self-checkout is self-checkout an accessory to the crime wave? does it make it easier to steal when you have a self-checkout counter? Now, I use frequently a self-checkout at the Target that's local to us. They have a camera like in your face.
Oh yeah, and every Target does. Yeah.
Yep.
You're looking at yourself the whole time.
Prussia. Yep.
And every place I go that has a self-checkout, there is usually somebody standing there. Presumably monitoring the activity there. I don't know that it makes it any easier or less easy to steal going through self-checkout than just going out the door or going through a regular checkout lane.
I would be the least bit surprised if it were to happen, though, because people can just go whoop right out. You just never know. Someone could just run right through that lane. Nothing to stop them, all that kind of stuff. They could just go.
Well, you could walk through. I mean, when I've gone into a store and not bought anything, just decided
you can walk out. Nobody's.
You could just walk straight through one of the empty lanes.
Yep, absolutely.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know why self-checkout would make it any different.
Because you're paying for stuff, and they're saying that you could keep stuff in your buggy or your cart. You know what I mean? Like you could. Oh, I could pay for this and not. I've read. We were friends. Me and Amber were really good friends with one of the greeters at the Walmart in Addison, Texas, when we lived in Dallas. We saw him all the time because he was standing outside and we were always in that complex. There was a ton of stuff to do there. So we were always kind of walking by him every time we was there. And we became like really good friends with him. And we were in there one day. And this was back 3-4 years ago. He was saying that the crime in that, and that was a pretty nice neighborhood that we were in. He said the crime was going up and up and up, and they were using the self-checkouts as the way to circumvent just stealing. They weren't stealing. What they were doing is they were buying a $5 item, but stealing $50 worth of shit. And they were getting good at it. And Walmart was trying to combat that because they were using. So I'm sure there's something on the internet that you can find out how to steal from a self-checkout. I mean, I'm not promoting it, but I'm sure it's out there.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That's a very good question, Steve.
But I also don't care about their profit loss. Like, why do you have them there? Put more people there.
Right.
Yeah.
You can fix that pretty simply by just having
or you have a camera.
Human checkout.
Camera that just and even at the Wegmans, same at over here.
Yeah,
it's like it's right at self-checkout. Can't miss it. You look up.
It doesn't affect their theft. Does not affect me in wanting self-checkout or not. Like I don't care. Like if someone beat the system, it's your system. Fix your system.
Fix your system. Yeah. So the solution is not to get rid of self-checkout.
No.
It's fix the self-checkout.
Yeah. Fix the self-checkout. Yeah. Make it harder to walk through.
Yeah. So that's a bogus argument for getting rid of self-checkout. I agree.
I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
Now on the pro side, they do say for the most part, consumers have welcomed self-checkouts and shoppers, but they do say shoppers perceive self-checkout to be faster than traditional cashiers.
Agreed.
But apparently there's little evidence to support that.
That's interesting.
I completely disagree. If you get when I do my grocery shopping, if you get one of the people that actually are on the register, my son was one of them. He worked at the Acme in the Northeast. When you can get someone that's got a groove to their work and they have a good work ethic,
boop, boop, boop. Yeah.
15, 20 items are at the bagger, ready to go. And if the bagger is halfway decent or you're the bagger and you can put things in there, you can get out of there in 5-10 minutes and it's not a problem. Yeah. Self-checkout sometimes is hard when you've got a lot of items because you're now working. So you've got and you don't have your work face on. You have your at the Target face on. Like you're not like that's not.
I would be very curious from as you guys know, Lean Six. I would be very curious with that process. Yes. Yeah. I would be very curious with that because it would seem to be in theory that because you're doing it yourself, you're faster in terms of scanning the item, putting it in the bag, scanning, putting,
absolutely
and then you're out the door.
Because you're not a trained professional.
that's also the variable too, John, to your point. You're exactly
you're not
right.
A trained professional.
You're not doing it for a living. You're not, that kind of a deal. You're not employed by and it's a pain in the butt to try and put that, that bag to get it set right, especially if it's flimsy. Oh God, it's awful. It's terrible. But that being said, I would still be very curious. I just would think like it would, I don't know. I think it probably would be, but not by much. Not by much. If you went through a regular register with the same number of items, right? If you eliminated that variable of difference of items, same number of people or same number of items, but you're going through a regular register and then you're going through self-checkout, which would be faster? That'd be an interesting thought experiment. Interesting process experiment.
They can't use the lines against us. We'd have to say it has to be completely open. Because, of course you would go to self-checkout. If I have 4 items and there's a long line, self-checkout. But if I have 20 items...
You're not packing that by yourself.
Here's the thing. That was my question, is when you say it's faster, are you talking about from the moment you step up to the register and things start happening?
That's what I'm hoping that they
are you talking about, is it faster from by the time you get in the line to the time you're done? Because to me,
cycle time. Yep.
The benefit to me of self-checkout is you're not behind somebody who's got a family of 6 to feed with a grocery cart stacked to the brim of frozen items that's going to take, they're going to be paying $400.
Yes.
And it's going to take 20 minutes to scan all that crap.
Or worse, someone's paying by check.
Oh, God, no.
I've been behind that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Right? So from that perspective, hell yeah, it's a lot faster to get in the self-checkout line because you're not going to have that problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
That is my perception.
Yep.
So yes, self-checkout is faster. Now, if you're talking about you step up to the register and either the clerk or yourself starts scanning, that's probably a wash. And it will depend, as Matt says, on the skill level of the trainee.
No question.
Exactly.
Are you good at it? There are people who put the eggs, who put heavy things on top of the eggs. It's not a good thing.
Oh, no, it does happen. It does happen.
But
this will go well.
I would tend to think, if you have an average trained individual and you're doing it yourself, it's probably slightly in favor of the clerk who does it all the time.
Yeah.
But it's probably not a statistically significant difference.
No,
But to me, the issue is the people who use self-checkout are usually a little bit more efficient than the people who need to have
help to do it. Yeah.
Because not only do they need somebody to scan it, but they're going to fumble around in their wallet for payment and all that kind of crap. And so from that perspective, I do believe probably self-checkout is faster.
Yeah.
Now, the last point, which is completely for John here.
Oh, okay.
One of the items raised of, the importance of having staffed checkout lines. I do think it's a reminder of our interconnectedness in the world. We do sometimes and I see John shaking his head already. We do sometimes owe people attention and reciprocity, especially when we are benefiting from their attention or services.
See, John?
Take it
away,
away,
have
John.
to bite the bullet.
You need interaction in your life at the checkout counter.
I have a wife. I have children. I speak to them. I have friends. We do a podcast.
Oh.
I talk to people every day. I don't need more people. I have enough people. It's fine. I'm so
officially
glad
hit my cap
recently. Didn't have to talk to anybody.
Oh.
No, I understand. We need to. This is exactly. Me and Matt talked about this very early 2020. This is the reaction to COVID. This is the
No
exact
questions.
reaction. Now everybody's oversensitive about what we were telling them they were being oversensitive about. Now they're like, oh, we need people and we need to talk. Yeah, because you didn't have them for fucking 2 years because you were listening to idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was written by a CEO that sat home for 2 years. That totally was.
There you go.
That was the quote from my person. I get it, because if you sit home for 2 years, you're going to need some.
Yeah.
You definitely need to have that whiny voice.
You need to have that interconnectivity in your life, John. That's what you needed.
Look, I've done enough shopping in my life that there were, staff that I saw on a regular basis and would have friendly conversations.
Hi to and whatever.
That's that's fine. That happens, and that's that's part of living in a society. That's perfectly
that's
fine.
what you're supposed to do.
But to say that's an absolute need in our lives.
It's definitely not a need. I'll just tell you a great story. Target employee, I had to stop to grab something on my way home from work. Stopped in the Target real quick and grabbed 2 items, and it happened to be an Olipop is one of the things that I bought, which is a probiotic soda. And
There you go.
I got into a 20-minute conversation about this guy's weight loss journey, and he was looking for substitutes for soda because he had lost 100 pounds and he was continuing to go down. And he was like, would you recommend
This soda
replacing that as a soda? And I was like, I think it tastes just like soda, and it's very good. It's very good for you. It doesn't leave you gassy or bloaty. And we had a 20-minute conversation. I was like on board with this dude's weight loss journey. Okay, he was doing well. He was like, this shirt used to be so snug, and I'm like, yo, high five! Like, give me a high five! Like, you're kicking ass, bro! Like, keep going! Like,
there you go.
Matt, do you see the irony here in John saying he doesn't like to talk to people, and
hate
he has a
talking to
20-minute
people.
conversation with a dude he meets at Target?
Pick and choose your spots.
He had a
Pick
good
and
story.
choose your spots.
But I didn't.
Yeah.
I
It's a
didn't
great
go to
story.
self-checkout that time. I went
There you
to
go.
a person.
Could've.
And
Yep.
I could have. I totally could have. It was right next to him.
Yeah.
I could have been beep beep
You
and
just
gone.
never know.
And I was beep beep and stuck.
I've had a couple conversations with a couple of people at Wegmans, especially if I'm wearing Flyers when the Flyers were, in the midst of a playoff run. I've been wearing my Flyers jersey. Oh, I'm a huge Flyers fan. Do you think they're going to do it? They're going to do okay. You just have a nice, simple conversation. Nothing wrong with any of that. Nothing wrong with any of that at all.
You should. Talk to
But
me.
that should not be a reason to get rid of self-checkout.
No.
No.
Forced
it
interactions are always bad.
Right.
Yeah.
It has
It should become
its place.
natural and general. Go ahead, Johnny.
It has its place in society. Self-checkout. It's just we have to don't go to the corporations that are just making that.
Yeah.
I understand that argument where oh, I'm bagging my own groceries, so I'm basically Walmart hired me, or whoever may hire you. Just don't go to those places, because those places probably don't have good service anyway. That's why, because they can't hire any good employees because they don't pay enough, so they have to buy a $20,000 computer that doesn't work half the time.
There you go.
But self-checkout at a normal organization that do have 2 or 3 bays, I think that should stay.
Yeah.
I'll leave you with this from economics professor Ronald Larson of Luther College. He had this to say, with which I wholeheartedly agree. I think the prevailing wisdom right now is to give consumers a choice.
There you go.
The strengths that supermarkets have had in the past is that they've been able to have some human interaction. I think they're realizing they need to keep that, at least for customers who really appreciate that.
There you go.
Give us the choice. That's all we're asking for.
Yeah, that's all we're
Give us
asking.
the option.
Yeah. And if
hire
you're
some
in
bad
and out
people.
in 5 minutes, the self-checkout's great. If you need more time, if you need help, they're there for you too. That kind of a deal. So, yeah, that's
And
great.
if John needs a 20-minute conversation, he could just go and do that too.
Just gonna go to Target tomorrow and have that 20-minute conversation. Hope he's working.
There you go. There you go. We're not good enough for John anymore. He's got to find random dudes at Target.
Maybe he's our AI guest.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
There you go. And I want to thank all of our viewers and listeners for sticking with us in episode 166 of Why Known as Big Brown Beaver. I'm sorry, Two Noobs Talking.
That's a new name, by the way. I'll get a logo up.
Visit Winona's Big Brown Beaver. No, I'm sorry. Two Noobs Talking.wordpress.com. Visit the website. All our good stuff is there. All our episodes, all the audio feeds. It's all there for you.
There you go.
Check it out. And you can even learn about John's aversion to people, even though he sometimes talks to people for 20 minutes for some random reason.
The AI bot will write the article and put it on there. Don't worry about it.
Excellent.
There you go.
Well, before we get out of here, guys, anything final to say to the viewers and listeners out there in TV and radio land?
I guess I got to get the Christmas stuff going. Got to get that shopping list done.
Oh,
I guess.
You're running out of time, man. It's already.
It's what,
December
3 weeks
2nd.
ago? Yeah, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You're losing already.
Right around the corner. Yep.
I made the mistake 2 years, going to Disney World early December.
Oh,
boy, does that set you back in your shopping and decorating.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Problematic to say the least.
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, until next week, that is all for Two Noobs Talking. We'll see you at a later date.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for spending time with us here at Two Noobs Talking. If you want more episodes of Two Noobs, our entire catalog of our podcasts are available here on our YouTube channel, or you could search for us out on your favorite podcast listening platforms, such as Apple, Google, and Samsung Podcasts, along with YouTube Music and iHeartRadio, among others. Hey, while you're there, would you mind leaving us with a 5-star review? Have a great week, and we'll see you again next week with another great episode of Two Noobs Talking. Take care.